What's up, guys? It's Daily Mail FTM. It's Sunday. I'm Lucas, and this week we are talking about sexuality. Sexuality is important to discuss in trans-related topics simply for the fact that I think that a lot of times people confuse the two, or they just kind of group them together like they just are synonymous with each other, and therefore, have to be, if you're gay, you're either just questioning your gender, or if you're questioning your gender, you're gay. There's a lot of confusion, I think, that needs to be addressed. You can be straight or gay and still question your gender. It doesn't really matter. Everybody's different. I consider myself bisexual. I've dated both men and women, and I don't really have a preference in regards to gender. I just have preferences of whether or not they're an asshole or not. However, there still is that misconception, and I know that's a big question. A lot of people who are uneducated on transgender health and transgender advocacy and just information on what being transgender is. Not necessarily that they know what it feels like to be transgender, but people like parents and allies need to understand that they're not the same thing, and just because your friend or your family member comes out as trans does not have anything to do with the fact that they're gay. Another issue definitely that's notable is when somebody is, let's say there's a cisgendered straight female who is attracted to a transgender male. Sometimes if she doesn't know, or if she finds out, or she's questioning, am I a lesbian now? And that is not the case at all. Just because, like I said, that's gender. Sex and gender are different. Biological sex is different from a person's actual gender. There's been multitudes of studies showing that there is a difference. People who either have the mind of one or the other. There's really some people have the luck of the draw to be, assigned to the right gender and sex. Some people aren't, and that's what you have transgender people like us here for. So basically what I'm saying is, if you have a straight cisgendered female dating a trans man, no, she's not a lesbian. She would still be straight, and or she's bisexual or whatever. Same goes for the trans guy. He could be bisexual or straight. It doesn't, it doesn't really matter. That's pretty much it for this week's video. I didn't really have a whole lot to add to this conversation. It's kind of a interesting one at that. Everybody's kind of, everybody's entitled to a sexuality, whether they figure it out right away or not. Some people date the opposite gender for a while until they figure out, well, hey, gee, I'm gay, or hey, I like both. There's no rush, Some people never figure it out. Some people are like, oh, I like both, and they're like both forever, there's no rush. But the biggest thing I'd like to send out the message across in this video is that being transgender and being gay or any other sexuality has nothing to do with your gender identity. Those things need to be, people need to separate that and stop kind of roping them together, because they are not related necessarily. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Make sure you have a good week. The weather's getting nicer, so that's awesome. And we reached 100 subscribers last week at some point. I can't remember when it was. I think it was Wednesday. We reached 100 subscribers, so that's awesome. We'd like to thank you for that. We are also very close to 100 subscribers, or 100 followers on Tumblr as well. And our Facebook numbers are also climbing. So once again, we really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.